Well, hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of our Natural Living Makeover. My name is Jenny. I'm your presenter today, and I'm so excited to talk to you about some skincare tips and tricks. We've got some all-natural products to go through. We're going to make a couple of recipes. We've got some quiz questions. We've got some prizes to give out. We're going to have a fun time. So I'd love for you to say where you're joining us from in the chat. I've had so much fun seeing everyone pop in. We've got Tennessee who's here. We've got, we've got Ireland, from Chile, Ireland. We've got Florida on vacation. That sounds very fun. Kentucky's here. Hello, hello. I am just so excited to be a part of this global community of folks who are all about learning to live a more natural lifestyle based on making different DIY products to get that job done. So we're excited to look at skincare today. And I wanted to, before we dive in too much, I want to take you over to our Natural Living Makeover community. If you're not yet a member, it's a free experience to go through these 6 weeks with us. We are in week 2, and all of the content for week 1 is available. All of the discussion threads for week 1 are still up and going, and you're welcome to participate. And now we're in week 2, which is all about skincare, which is fantastic. Now, I did promise we're going to give out some Leaderboard member prizes today, or just, I like to think of them as thank you gifts. So every Wednesday at the beginning of our live event, we are giving away $25 gift cards to go shop at aromatics.com to our 7-day Leaderboard members over in the Natural Living Makeover. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this because these are our winners for today. This just means in the last 7 days, the last week of the Natural Living Makeover experience, these folks have been in there interacting, posting, commenting, encouraging, asking questions. They're our most engaged members. So I want to say thank you for being in there and spending time with us and dedicating your time. So Elizabeth, Mia, Rebel Girl, Donna, Angie, Kaya, Catherine, Carrie, Cindy, and Lorraine, all of you are getting $25 gift cards to go shop at aromatics.com. If you could please email Aromatics, which is team@aromatics.com. Michelle will pop that $25 into your account. Anytime you have questions about any of your products or any aromatics related thing, just email team@aromatics.com. If you have questions about your account or you have questions about the Natural Living Makeover, that you would email team@aromahead.com. So there's 2 different teams supporting our Natural Living Makeover here in the school community. So if you're not, again, yet a member, we would love to have you join us. And we're having so much fun over here. I want to give you a little tour of what's happening. So you can watch the live Q&A we did, which was so fascinating. We went way off topic. We went into clinical work, but it was an incredible experience in that members were able to join and ask questions, unmute their mic, come on camera, and ask questions. And we just had a lot of fun exploring all natural preservatives, how much essential oil can you use throughout the day? Different questions like that we really got into. When would you use essential oils internally? All of these things we touched on in that Q&A, and you can watch the replay right here. And then we just had some really fun discussions happening down in our discussion thread in the under the community tab. Over here in classroom, we have week 1, which is our essential oil aromatherapy foundations. That is unlocked, and you can work your way through that course content. Week 2 is all about natural skincare, which we're in right now. We're going to make some natural skincare recipes, and it unlocked on Sunday morning. All of these courses unlock Sunday morning of the week that we are going to be talking about that specific topic. So unlocking March 15, which is this coming Sunday, is everyday wellness, which is going to be great. So you just click on that particular tab, and you can go through the curriculum, the content that I've put together here for you. And it's all about looking at really how are essential oils and aromatherapy products absorbed into our skin? How do they get into our systems when you're using them topically? Also, when you're using them, when you're using inhalation. This particular course looks at what are carrier oils and what kind of carrier oil would you use for what different blend, because all different carrier oils are also unique and wonderful on their own. And so when you pair them with essential oils, you're really inviting a bigger conversation to take place in terms of what that blend can do. You're really expanding the options of your blend when you're really specific about which carrier you choose. We look at different essential oils for skincare. I had originally selected 10 essential oils for skincare, and by the time I was done writing the course, there are at least 15 essential oils for skincare that we recommend if you're going to look for an essential oil list to start with. We looked at hydrosols. We talked a lot about hydrosols in the Q&A, so if you have a chance to go and watch that replay, that would be a great thing. And we talked about natural preservatives, when to use them, what kind to use, all of those things. And then we went a little bit further into, in this course, we go further into plant part, aromatic note, and chemistry specifically for skincare blends. We talked about how expert aromatherapists blend by chemical component, by plant part, by aromatic note, just in general, last week in our week 1 course. And this just gets even more specific when it comes to skincare, because especially the skin on our face is a little bit thinner. And we want to be careful working with oils around our eyes. It's a different way to approach skincare when you're working with essential oils for your face. So we get into looking at that specifically. Some safety for considerations for skincare, looking at shelf life and vibrancy when looking at skincare, and just the beauty of creating your own blends. And when we're done with this live workshop, live training, I'll pop the replay link right here so you're able to view that for the next 6 weeks. So this is a pop-up group. We're having a lot of fun inside of this group, chit-chatting and hanging out. All of the course content that we're going through, the event replays that we have available by the time we're done with this 6 weeks, I'm going to take them over to our Natural Living Club over here. And if you're a member of our Natural Living Club, amazing. I do want to take just a moment, and I want to lift up some members who are in our Natural Living Club who are really going through some heavy stuff. I was talking in a direct message with one of our members who is potentially facing an ALS diagnosis. And so yesterday I just put up and started this Natural Living Club support circle so we could really just lift her up. And I know we all come from different faith traditions. We all pray differently. We all seek guidance differently. And I love that. And so this is an interfaith place for us to come and just support folks in our community who are going through some really heavy things. And so one of our members, Kathy, we were talking in DMs, and I asked her permission to use her name, and we're just really lifting Kathy up. And in this post, I'm inviting anyone, if you have a challenge that is going on in your life that you want extra support for, extra prayer, extra love, to go ahead and put that in the comments. And we're up to 153 interactions, which just shows the level of love and encouragement and support that you can expect in these circles. It really is all about living a natural life, replacing our toxic ingredients with all natural products, but it's also just about a full community where we can get in there and be there for each other and support each other. So if you would like to come over and offer your support, or if you are looking for support, I very much would encourage you to come and just let us know. If you want to just pop in silent, we know that there's something going on that we need to hold you and lift you up. And you don't need to give specifics either. You can stay anonymous and you can just say silent. So that is something I just wanted you to know is going on as well. Okay, so we are going to go through, I've got some quiz questions for you. I'm going to toggle back over. This is where you can toggle back over to our other community, the Natural Living Makeover. The reason we decided to do a separate school community for this is because I wanted it to be really organized in terms of the course content, the discussions. It's all around our themes of each week. So I wanted a place where it was just completely about this 6-week experience. So at the end of the 6 weeks, well, really 7 weeks, because week 7 is all about next steps and ways to figure out how you want to keep learning aromatherapy and different routes to take to do that. So this group will really be open for 7 weeks. And then when we're done with this particular pop-up, we're going to encourage everyone to come over to our Natural Living Club and keep the conversation going. And so that is why we did a separate group for this particular experience. We also wanted to create a free experience to invite folks who don't know anything about aromatherapy, or they don't know us at all, and they don't know all of our community members over at the Natural Living Club, to just come in and just say hi and get introduced to how we just approach blending, how we approach essential oil work, how we approach learning the art the heart and the science of aromatherapy. So we're so happy you're here if you're new to us. And if you've been here forever, thank you so much. We so appreciate every single one of our community members. Okay, so one other thing while we're here, or if you could hop over to my screen in the calendar tab, this is where you can go and find upcoming events. All you would do to find this event, for example, where we're on live right now, is you would click on that, and then you would click this link, and that'll take you to where we are right now. I've been going through, for example, week 1. This is where you can click and actually watch the replay right here. And I'll go back in and put that same link to the replay for week 2 and then so forth as we go through. If you want to see and reach out to a specific member because you're really hitting it off in the community and you want to just chit chat back and forth, you can go ahead and find what different members are up to. And we really want to keep the content all focused around the emphasis of each week in terms of skincare or foundations or everyday wellness. But we have a lot of folks in here who have some really cool things happening, business and whatnot. And we don't want folks to promote their businesses in the main community, but you are able to put different links to your businesses or different things you have going on in your profile. So it's really fun to just kind of go and see who is doing what in our communities. For example, over in the Natural Living Club, I put up a post not that long ago, although now we have so much happening, which is great. So you can go and search. I'm going to put in business into our Natural Living Club. And you can go through, for example, 6 days ago, I asked for business updates. And look, we've got 439 comments where folks are letting us know what kind of updates they have going on in their businesses. We have a lot of formulators. We have a lot of teachers, instructors who are in our community. And so it's just fun to see what everyone is up to. And periodically inside of the Natural Living Club, I ask folks to give updates because I think it's a fun thing to support our community members in their wellness endeavors, which is great. Okay. So I'm going to go over to the Natural Living Makeover right here. And I'm going to go over into Classroom and we're going to start our quiz. So for this particular week, our quiz questions, we have 5 quiz questions. They're all from the content in the Natural Skincare course, which is our week 2 course. So I'm going to click on that. So all of the questions that we're about to go over are from this particular course, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and put in the first quiz question for the day. We're going to pop that in. Okay, here's your first quiz question. All right. Every one of these questions are true or false. Now, if you haven't had a chance to go through the material, just do your best to see and assess what you think the answer is, whether it's true or false. So the first question, each carrier oil has its own texture, absorption rate, and skin supporting properties. Is this true or false? Each carrier oil has its own texture, absorption rate, and skin supporting properties. And if you're thinking, what is a carrier oil? A carrier oil is usually a vegetable oil that you would use to blend your essential oils into, and you would put it on your skin, and that helps the essential oils go through the layers of our skin and get into our circulation. And so each carrier oil, for example, we have avocado oil, and I went through and listed several important skin nourishing carrier oils in your week 2 course that you can read up on and go more in depth with. But again, true or false, each carrier oil has its own texture, absorption rate, and skin supporting properties. So let us know. So far we have 143 votes. That's fantastic. All right. You can also pop it in to chat too. You can say true or false in chat, or you can go ahead and vote in the poll. Either way is going to work. All right. We're ready. Okay. So here we had 163 votes come in, and we had 100% of our votes say true, which you're absolutely right. Maybe it was too easy of a question. Each carrier oil has its own texture, absorption rate, and skin supporting properties. I think it's not too easy of a question. I think you're all A+ students is what I think. So yes, you're absolutely correct. It is true. If we go down to carrier oils and fatty acid profiles, let's click on that. I put in some information just on understanding the different important things like fatty acids found in carrier oils. So you can read up on them even more and go more in depth. And this, is just kind of behind the scenes on why we would reach for jojoba, why we would reach for apricot seed oil, whatever it is. I just wanted you to have some more background knowledge in terms of what actually is in our carrier oils that is so important and nourishing for our skin, because this is all about skincare this week. So here are some specific carrier oils that we looked at, or that we're looking at. Some of you are still going through the course. We are looking at aloe vera gel, which interestingly enough is a water-based carrier, which means that you need to think about, I don't want to talk too much about this because we're going to get into our quiz question. So I'm not going to say any more about preservatives, but when you're working with a water-based product, you need to be thinking about preservatives on some level, potentially. I don't want to give anything away for that particular quiz question that's coming up. So I just put in some skin nourishing carrier oils and why you might choose that particular carrier oil. Now I put in additional, so we've got the recommended supply list for our all of our recipes that we're blending each week inside of the Natural Living Makeover. In this particular course, I went ahead and put in additional essential oils and additional carrier oils that we don't have in our supply kit and we aren't using to blend the recipes, because I just wanted you to know more about them, just to kind of set that foundation for different options you have available to you when it comes to crafting gorgeous, all-natural skincare. Now you can go and spend hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on high-end skincare. And let me tell you, you're going to get even more profound results when you are blending with all-natural products that are fresh. We love to recommend working with small batches of product so that you're able to it's like making up a really fresh homemade soup right there on your stove versus going to the store and buying a can of soup. It's in that specific can of soup, you're gonna have all kinds of things for stabilizing that product that you're not gonna need when you're making soup at home. So it's kind of the same concept when you're making your own DIY skincare. Okay, let's go ahead and pop in our second question, our second quiz question of the day. All right, true or false? Hydrosols hydrate skin because they contain high amounts of essential oil. True or false? Hydrosols hydrate skin because they contain high amounts of essential oil. Pop that in, true or false. Either click the answer you think it is, or you can pop into the comments true or false. Now, I'm going to just grab a hydrosol over here. For example, this is German chamomile hydrosol, one of your hydrosols that we are working with in the recipe PDF this week. Now, hydrosols are the water portion of an essential oil distillation, and they are such beautiful products to use on their own, just like our carrier oils are such beautiful products to use on their own. When you combine them with essential oils and whatnot, you can create such intentional, unique, specific, vibrant, beautiful products when you know how to formulate them. So we've got, again, hydrosols hydrate skin because they contain high amounts of essential oil. True or false? So just pop in your answer, true or false, into the comments. Thank you, April. I did add extra oils. I added so many extra oils and carriers because I really wanted to. I was like, well, I can't leave out avocado. I can't leave out. I just needed to keep going. So arguably, I put in more content into this week's course than I had actually intended. But you know what? I'm so excited. And I feel like the more knowledge is out there about how to safely and effectively use our essential oils, the better. We talked about in our Q&A this week, and I didn't, we want to stay positive, and we don't want to necessarily directly call out any misinformation. We want to keep things nurturing and uplifting in our communities. I did see when I was scrolling around this last weekend, I saw a recipe that a large company put out for how to make an overnight lemon shortbread in yogurt. And one of their ingredients was lemon essential oil dropped into the yogurt, where you mix it up and then it just adds lemon flavor. And the intent of that, I see where they're coming from. The intent of that seems wholesome at first because we love our oils. They're uplifting, they're nourishing, they're lovely. But when you are just enthusiastic and you're just passionate about an essential oil, that's where the danger can lie. Because what we know as beginners, intermediates, expert level aromatherapists is that lemon oil is so potent and so strong. If you were to put, for example, 1 drop neat, I do not recommend doing this. I've done this. Don't do this. If you put 1 drop of lemon oil neat on a zit or a blemish, it will hurt. And that blemish will go away immediately, but not in a good way, in like an aggressive, I shouldn't have done that way. So just imagine taking that lemon oil and putting it in yogurt and eating it in that way. It is not something we recommend. And so when you have the knowledge and understanding of how these plants work, you're much better served to take just a little squeeze of lemon into your yogurt or to grate a little lemon peel. That's going to bring out it's going to bring out a beautiful flavor, a beautiful aroma, and you're not going to burn your throat like crazy when you eat that yogurt with lemon oil. So it just reinforced how it's so important to have foundational education around these important, gorgeous plant resources. They're very, 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 very strong, which means you can get profound positive results. You can also get profound negative results. So you need to know how to use these oils safely and effectively. So I just want to make sure that everyone, also lemon is phototoxic. Yes. So absolutely do not do what I did way back in the day. It did take my blemish away, but not in the way that I recommend at all. So those are that's an early day essential oil blooper that you have from me today. All right, so let's go back to our question. Hydrosols hydrate skin because they contain high amounts of essential oil. And this is false. So our hydrosols, and I can see why if you put true, I can see why you put true, because you would think that, because when you are doing an essential oil distillation or you're distilling for hydrosol, and you can, ideally you are choosing the primary product and doing your distillation specifically for that primary product. For example, if you're distilling just for hydrosol or that's what you want, then the essential oil is the byproduct. If you're distilling for essential oil, then the hydrosol is typically the byproduct. And hydrosols, it's like milking a cow in the dairy. You have a whole bucket of milk and cream. What you have on the bottom is milk. What you have on the top is cream. That's kind of the same thing with essential oils and hydrosols or hydrolats or aromatic waters, depending on how you refer to them. Different places in the world refer to them differently. So it's the same thing. So in milk, you're going to have trace amounts of cream, right? And in cream, you're going to have milk, all of those sorts of things. That's not entirely true. And I don't want to take that analogy over to hydrosol, because with essential oil, you do not have hydrosol in that. It's straight up the essential oil only. So with hydrosols, there are trace amounts of essential oil, but it is more the chemistry and composition of the entire herb of the plant versus the essential oil. So there are trace elements of essential oils in our hydrosols, but barely. They're so hydrating, skin nourishing, and important in your aromatherapy wellness routine because they're so unique. They're more like the nurturing, gentle family member that you have in your family potentially, or a friend or whatever it might be. So our hydrosols are so very gentle, but also so very effective. For example, we talked about in week 1 how German chamomile hydrosol can be so helpful for diaper rash on babies. And you would not want to use essential oils on babies because it's so strong. You might have a really great initial reaction with an essential oil in a baby, but that is going to create some potentially long-term negative implications you won't even see or be able to tell is happening because of the chemistry of the oil is so strong on that baby's system. Maybe lavender is going to clear up a diaper rash lavender essential oil, but that is going to have a potential long-term negative effect on that particular tiny, tiny developing system. But our hydrosols are so safe for babies. Most of them, or many of them, you would want to be very intentional, just like when you're selecting an essential oil. You want to make sure you understand why you're using hydrosols for that specific purpose. But our hydrosols are gentle, and they're gentle enough to use, for example, on a scrape where you might not, and I wouldn't recommend putting an essential oil right on an open scrape like that, right? Where you can do that with a German chamomile hydrosol or a lavender hydrosol. So they are so important because they are gentle. They're more gentle than our essential oils, so we can use them straight on our face for a tonic, or for one of the recipes, we have a blend of 3 different hydrosols for that skin rejuvenating tonic. So they have their own unique place in the world of aromatherapy. So I just wanted to highlight that and mention it by putting in a quiz question on them in our time together today. Okay, I'm going to do a brief time check. 11:25 my time. We're doing great. All right, let's go ahead and put in our third quiz question. All right, here we go. Preservatives become very important when products are made in larger quantities or intended for sale. So, preservatives become very important when products are made in larger quantities or intended for sale. Is this true or false? And while you're popping in your votes and you're answering this quiz question, I want to go through. Oh, Niesner family asked, which hydrosol is good for diaper rash? We in our family, for our littles, love using German chamomile hydrosol for diaper rash. In addition to the diaper cream you're using in your protocol, it just is really helpful for just clearing up irritated skin. It's also great for any kind of scrapes or bruises on our littles. You just spray it right on and it makes everything feel a little bit better and it helps their skin heal up much faster. All right, I'm just looking back through our comments. Now, your promotion for this week through aromatics.com is a free, either you can choose a free 5 ml lemon or a free 5 ml lime on any order over $20. And while supplies last, that's running through this coming Monday. So if you do want to go and purchase any of the products that we're talking about today on the recommended supply list, we will gift you a free 5 ml lemon or a free 5 ml lime while supplies last. I think we have 100 marked of both. So while supplies last through this coming Monday, which I believe is the 16th of March at noon, we're changing it to noon Mountain Time. So there you go. All right. We have 169 votes in. Here we go. All right. So 92% said true. Preservatives become very important when products are made in larger quantities or intended for sale. And the answer for this is true. Now, we like to encourage our formulators who are doing incredible work in their small or large scale businesses, when they're formulating product for sale or they're formulating large quantities of product, it is important to keep in mind, especially in our water-based products. It's not a concern in our oil-based products like a jojoba massage oil. You don't need to think about a preservative. You just need to think about the recommended shelf life. Now, how you calculate shelf life in an oil-based blend is the ingredient in that blend with the shortest shelf life is the shelf life for the entire blend. So our citrus oils typically have shorter shelf lives than most of our other aromatherapy products. So if you're blending with a citrus oil, even if you have jojoba, which has a 20-year shelf life, or patchouli, which has an indefinite shelf life, or one of our chamomiles, which is probably, I would want to look it up, around a 5-year shelf life, but you've got a sweet orange in there or a lime or a lemon, the entire shelf life of that product becomes the shelf life of the shortest shelf life in the product, which would be your citrus in that particular example, and that would be a 1 to 2 year shelf life. So that's how you calculate that. Now, when you're working with water-based products like lotion, aloe vera, these sorts of things, hydrosol, if you're blending in large quantity with water-based product, because mold can happen in water when you have water, you want to use an all-natural preservative. And graciously, Karen went in and wrote in to our course this week 3 different suggestions that we recommend if you do need to use a preservative, which is why we here at Aromahead Aromatics in our Natural Living Club and our Natural Living Makeover and in Thrive, we really recommend using and creating small batches of your water-based products and using them within a few days or a week, because why put a preservative in if you don't need to? So we like to keep it as all natural as possible, but we realize some of you might like to formulate large batches, or you are creating a business and you do need a preservative. We are recommending 3 different preservatives in the in our coursework for this particular week. And of course, the coursework for our Natural Living Makeover just scratches the surface. We offer so many in-depth courses over at aromahead.com. And just so you know, you have a free resource available to you if you are in our Natural Living Club. If you go to up here, if you are in our makeover, you would toggle over to our Natural Living Club. Over in our Natural Living Club, in our classroom section, we are gifting any of our members our free Aromatherapy 101 course. So the content that I put together for skincare, for example, takes about, I would say, 20 to 45 minutes to go through. This Aromatherapy 101 course that's offered for a $49 tuition fee at aromahead.com. It's free for all of our Natural Living Club members, and it's a 3 to 4 hour course. So it takes the information that we're starting with in our makeover. We're going even more in depth in our Aromatherapy 101 course, and then we layer in from there. We have larger courses. We have 36-hour courses. We have, I'll tell you about a free special giveaway at the end of our time together today, but we have a body butters and lip balms course, and all the way up to clinical scholarly level work with our aromatherapy certification program, our essential oil expert program, which are more 235-hour courses where you leave that course and you are an expert in aromatherapy work. So this is meant to just create a foundation. And if you are brand new to this world, to help lay that foundation for you to build on. If you are already a clinical worker or an expert level worker, it's just fun to refresh these concepts. It's just fun to review, what are the layers of the skin? What are those? It's fun to review, what are the chemical components that are really good for skincare? So it's nice to go through and refresh as well. So let's go back over to our comments, and I am going to did I finish giving the explanation on preservatives? Now, if you want to learn more about that, and you are in our Natural Living Makeover group, you are in the classroom, you would just open up, again, week 2, which is our natural skincare, go over to the side, preservatives and microbial safety. And again, this is just meant to be an introduction to this idea and concept. We go into this more in depth in our courses, but this is where you would read about, again, our water-based products, why you would want to use it, why we prefer small batches when we're blending for ourselves, our family, our friends, our clients. But when you are crafting for your business, that you do need to use a natural preservative. So they become much more important in that way. And so we've got a comparison chart. We have different natural preservatives that we're recommending. Our very favorite is, should I say that, Karen? I believe our very favorite is radish root, but we have 3 different options for you to use right here. So yes, more information on that is right here inside of this little course. Okay, let's go ahead and put our next quiz question in because I want to get to blending. Okay, linalool. A chemical component in some essential oils is known for its skin-soothing properties. True or false? Linalool, a chemical component in some essential oils, is known for its skin-soothing properties. Now, if you have any skeptic in your life, just know that learning more about the chemistry of every single essential oil will help you develop a vocabulary to very expertly and with authority talk about how these essential oils are going to get results and going to get the results you're claiming they're going to get. It comes down to different researched chemical components in our essential oils have been studied and shown to produce different effects. So linalool, in this instance, true or false, is known for its skin-soothing properties. So every single essential oil has a lot of essential oil chemical components in it. And the top 1 to 5 determine the therapeutic and energetic use of that particular oil, specifically the therapeutic use. So we know that apinine, for example, or linalool, linalool acetate, B-caryophyllene, all of these researched chemical components have a direct therapeutic action. So that's how we get into our precision blending for accurate results. It is rather easy to have accidental out of the gate success with essential oils, which is why they're so popular, especially on just a basic level. If you love what you're smelling, it's going to put you into a good mood. Aromatherapy on that base level is going to be success. But if you want to peel back that layer and you want to go into, okay, well, lavender makes me feel good, but also it has certain chemical components that will do this specific action. So I'm going to use lavender in this blend for my neighbor Cynthia, who's going through anxiety, depression, whatever it might be. So when you're able to start choosing essential oils because of their chemistry, your results become profound. And that's where we layer in from beginner all the way up to clinical work, where you are able to work in a very delicate, acute, intense situation with a very purposeful blend and get amazing healing and relief, especially paired with other like Western medicine, acupuncture, Chinese medicine. When you're pairing these things all together, the level of healing, comfort, relief is profound. So the more you know about your oils, the better the results you're going to get with your oils. So I'm very glad you're here in this 6-week makeover to add to your knowledge or to review, which is very great. It's an awesome thing. All right, let's go ahead and see how we did. Poll results coming in hot. Here we go. All right, so 91% said true. Linalool, a chemical component in some essential oils, is known for its skin-soothing properties. 91% said true, and that is true. Linalool is known for its skin-soothing properties. Now, linalool is present in lavender essential oil, for example, or Lavandula angustifolia. There are 40 plus different types of lavender that can be then distilled into essential oil. If you go to, for example, I'll take you over to aromatics.com. I want to show you a little secret. If you are blending for someone and you just love lavender oil and you want the linalool in lavender oil because you want that skin soothing property, but the person you're blending for doesn't like that particular chemical component, that's when you can go and you can say, okay, that particular chemical component is in X, Y, or Z chemical family. And I'm going to go over here and ask Timely. Timely is an app we are developing out over through the Thriving Aromatherapist. So I'm going to ask Timely, which chemical family is linalool? And I need to be able to spell it relatively correctly there. I have a hard time spelling and counting when I'm live. I don't know why. I'm like, what? And here we go. Timely can help with that. All right. So Timely is letting us know linalool belongs to the monoterpenol family. Fantastic. So monoterpenols are characterized by 10 carbons, and it gives you a breakdown of this. It lets us know where we can keep looking for information on linalool. So it's from the monoterpenol chemical family. So I know I can go over to, I hope I'm not losing anyone. You have a replay to this and you can ask questions in chat. Go over here to chemical family and you can search by monoterpenol down here. There are 41 other oils in this particular family, and chances are they're going to be rich in linalool as well. If you are in your aromatherapy classes over at aromahead.com, you can find other oils that are rich in linalool, and that's how you would do your substitution. So if you're looking for that skin nourishing chemical component, again, you would want to find a comparable amount of that particular chemical component in an oil, and that's one way to do some substitution. The other way you can do it is you can go over to, I'm going to clear this. If you're looking for a specific action, let's go to therapeutic property. Maybe you need an oil that isn't lavender, that is really good for just calming and being sedative. You could click that specific check mark. You can go up here, and this is recommended all of the oils that are known to be calming relaxing and more sedative. So you can go ahead and that's one way to approach essential oil substitution. I just wanted to make you aware of over here. You can also ask timely. What are 3 oils I could use instead of lavender for sleep? Let's see what Timely says. I love Timely. So behind the scenes, specifically Karen and Jaren are spending all day, all night, putting in all of our information from aromahead.com, aromatics.com from the beginning of time, which is the 90s, thrive.com, the Thriving Aromatherapist. We're going to be putting in recipes and content from the Natural Living Club. It's just a wonderful resource where you can search all of our information to get really accurate recommendations, and it's an incredible resource. So these are the 3 oils that Timely is recommending if you're looking for whoever you're blending for, maybe you don't like the aroma of lavender, Timely is recommending Roman chamomile, vetiver, and neroli. And I love that. And this is where Timely is getting all of its resources. Now it's in beta mode. If you're a member of the Thriving Aromatherapist, you have access to this right now under Timely Aromatherapist. It's in beta mode because we are still in the process of uploading thousands of recipes, uploading hundreds of blogs, maybe even thousands of blogs, thousands of hours of coursework into Timely. So Timely has only access to the stuff we've put in so far. So once everything's in, we're going to open it up to the public. So right now, we are just asking our Thriving Aromatherapists to help us as we go through and are using it in beta mode. We want feedback on how it's going. So there's another resource for you, which is great. Okay. Bonnie says, I also love Timely and use it often. Okay, we are going to get to blending today. What's our next quiz question? Is this number 4 or 5? The last one. We're ready. Okay, true or false? Essential oils can be cooling, warming, or hot in their energetic and therapeutic effects. Now, energetic just means it's more of your mind and spirit. Therapeutic means it's your body, it's your physiology. I am nauseous, I have a sprained ankle. More of the energetics would be my heart hurts because this thing happened. That's more of the energetics, right? And so essential oils can be cooling, warming, or hot in their energetic and therapeutic effects. True or false? All right, there you go. I know. I think that it's time for us as aromatherapists to, in a very smart way and in a very intentional way, lean into our AI tools. It's happened. It's here. It's kind of like the invention of the wheel. There's no going back. AI is now a part of our lives. It is here. I don't mean Aromatics International, which will always be a part of my life. I mean AI tools. So that's why we wanted to create our own AI tool where it's just our information. Right now, other AI tools, they're out there getting information that might be like lemon in your yogurt, right? That's information out there that you can find in other AI tools that is very inaccurate. They're going to upload that and take it and suggest it, right? Whereas our specific tool, Timely, which is your personal assistant for information, is just our information that we know, we trust, and we stand by. It's not out there searching anything else other than what we give it, which is a very exciting thing. All right. So let's go ahead and see where we're at. Okay, here's the results. Essential oils can be cooling, warming, or hot in their energetic or therapeutic effects. And the answer is true. So every essential oil has the ability to warm. For example, a good warming oil, and we can search by this too. Let me not just go into my mind and give examples. Let's go through. I believe we can search by warming and cooling. I believe we can. You might not be able to search by that, but you can when you click, let's go into our lavender, and you go into our properties and you're reading about them, suggested uses. We actually might not have that on aromatics.com, but it's definitely in your Aromahead coursework when it comes to identifying if an oil is cooling, warming, or hot. For example, our spice oils tend to be hot. Peppermint tends to be cooling. So if you're looking at a sprained ankle, you are not going to want to put hot oils in that blend. Even though those hot oils are good for pain and inflammation, they're not good for an initial sprain. So that's where the nuance of knowing, okay, there's are my 20 oils I have that are good for a sprained ankle. But half of those are going to be warming, and you don't want to use that at the initial sprain. You want to cool, you want ice, you want to keep heat away from that area. So you need to think about that when you are working with oils, which is why we go over that extensively in our aromatherapy certification program, our essential oil specialist program. I just want you to be aware of that in this 6-week experience, because that is something to factor in. And that is why it can be potentially, it's easy to fall into creating a blend with the best of intentions when you're formulating your own blend, that actually can get a negative result. And so when you're first starting out, I highly recommend education and using recipes that you trust the source they're coming from. You can trust all of our recipes at Aromatics International, all of our recipes inside of the Natural Living Club, inside of the Natural Living Makeover, and inside of aromahead.com. Very trustworthy recipes formulated with intent. You can use those as a beginner easily and get really amazing results. When you're getting into formulating your own blends, we just want to make sure that you understand the more education you have, the better results you're going to get. And you won't have to think through, oh, I should have used a cooling oil or I should have used a hot oil. Maybe you need to really warm up really achy joints that are really cold and stiff. You want those warm, hotter oils in those specific blends. So that's something else to keep in mind. Okay, let's make some blends, shall we? Where are we at? Let's make some blends. I'm going to go into my classroom inside of the Natural Living Makeover. I'm going to open up Natural Skincare. We're going to make 2 blends today from our recipe PDF. Now, this is a free resource you have available to you. Some gorgeous skincare recipes. Again, make sure you're downloading and printing, because this particular group will end in 7 weeks. All this information I will build over inside of our Natural Living Club. So that will be where the information lives forever, indefinitely. But if you are concerned about losing access, please download all of the PDFs and information as we go. Okay, so we have a Bare and Balanced Cleanser. I have been using a variation and this specific recipe for years and years and years. This is the cleanser that I use, and I wanted to put it in here. So aloe vera, argan oil, and lavender hydrosol. Sometimes I'll leave out the hydrosol and I'll just do equal parts, or I will do just over half of a bottle of our aloe vera, and I'll fill the rest up with argan oil. Sometimes I'll put a drop of rosin, frankincense, lavender. I'll do 1 or 2 drops of essential oil max around my face for this particular cleanser. The lavender hydrosol is going to be very clarifying and moisturizing. And I find that when I have the hydrosol in there with the aloe vera and the argan, it's such a mild, gentle cleanser I can use, for example, in the morning. Now, if I want a makeup remover cleanser, I will use about half our aloe vera and half our argan. And that is just such a great way to cleanse your face, but also it works as a makeup remover. So that's your little secret tip for that. Okay, the next recipe in this PDF lineup is our Calm Complexion Mist, which is 1 fluid ounce of German chamomile, a half ounce of lavender, and a half ounce of frankincense. It's such a cooling, restorative mist you can use as a toner several times during the day. If you do happen to get a sunburn, this is fantastic for that, as is just straight lavender hydrosol on your face. So we wanted to give you this beautiful calm complexion mist recipe. We're going to make this today, the Glow and Ground Mask, which is a mineral-rich clay treatment that clarifies and smooths the skin. We'll be making this with green clay, lavender hydrosol, argan oil, and we're going to put in 1 drop of lavender in this particular but you could put in 1 drop of German chamomile. Or you can go back to that list and see the other skin supportive oils I have in that list to see what you might have and what you're interested in trying out. Okay, we have our Everlasting Skin Serum, which is jojoba, tamanu or tamanu, helichrysum, and lavender. And then we have our citrus forest polish, which is a personal shower scrub that exfoliates and refreshes with fine pink Himalayan salt and coarse pink Himalayan salt. We talked about, we have a whole discussion going inside of the Natural Living Makeover if you should use sugar or you should use salt. Sometimes you can use a combination of both of those things, just depending on how sensitive your skin is. But these two combined are a fantastic base for any kind of shower scrub, with jojoba, sweet orange, distilled lime, and black spruce. And those are your recipes for this particular week. So we are going to let's start by making the glow and ground mask. So let's get our supplies out. We need our French green clay. I love this stuff so much. We need our lavender hydrosol, which is right here. And we need our argan oil, which is just magic in a bottle right there. And we're going to put in 1 drop of our lavender, which is Lavandula angustifolia. This particular one is from Kashmir, and it is from India, and it is beautiful. I love it. All the lavenders, even though they're Lavandula angustifolia, they all have a slightly unique aroma. They smell different because they're coming from different fields and different regions and different parts of the world. So that's just how that happens. All right, I'm going to make room so you can see what we're doing and bring the supplies behind so we can just blend in this little bowl right here. Karen, do you mind refreshing? Is this the bowl we had intended for the mask? The larger bowl or the smaller bowl?
The mask is small.
Okay, that's what in the back of my mind, I was like, I think that I'm grabbing the wrong bowl. Here we go. Let's do that. A little bowl for this. So we're going to start by just mixing it up. Now, if you're a perfectionist and you're not used to blending, it can be really hard to grab a product, to measure it out, and just to go for it, because you want to make sure. You've just heard a lot about safety. You've just heard a lot about how it's really important to be careful with your products, but also to enjoy them. Just rip that Band-Aid right off and feel really good about getting in there and blending. And you feel good about getting in there and blending a lot, right? That's something that just took me a minute. And maybe that's just me. It just took me a minute to get over because I had so much respect for each one of these products. It just took me a minute to be like, oh, let's just go ahead and blend because I want to have the benefit of all of these products. Okay, so I'm going to put in my 1 tablespoon of French green clay. All right, I'm going to measure it up pretty specifically here. 1 tablespoon of French green clay. Love that. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of our lavender hydrosol. And we talked about this extensively on our Q&A this week. But hydrosols you want to be really careful with because this will last quite a while, 1 to 2 years, right? It will last only the next week if I accidentally get any kind of bacteria in this bottle, right? Because it's clean, it is pure, nothing bad is growing in this. We're keeping it in the fridge, all of the right things. So I want to be really careful when I take this top off that I don't sneeze on it and I don't touch the sprayer to anything at all. I'm going to risk this and I'm just going to set it like that. Now I'm going to be very careful. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to pour this in 1 tablespoon of our lavender hydrosol. You could use German chamomile hydrosol in this as well if you don't like the smell of lavender. Some people don't, and that's fine. Carefully grab that. Carefully put it in there. And there you go. Then I'm going to have the longest shelf life ever, or the best shelf life I can possibly hope to expect for my hydrosol. And again, we're storing our hydrosols in the fridge for the longest shelf life. They're in this amber glass on purpose to extend the shelf life as much as possible. So it's beautiful. I go through lavender hydrosol like crazy. So I just keep it in my bathroom, not in the fridge. And I go through this so often, right? I'm not worried about shelf life with my lavender or temperature because I'm using it so much. So if that's you, that's okay. But if you're only using German chamomile every now and then for diaper rash or scrapes or bruises or what have you, you would want to be more careful with that. Okay, let's do 1 teaspoon of our argan oil. If I was at home, I would just guess. But we're on this live event, so I'm not going to guess. I would just pour a little bit into that tablespoon and put it in, approximately. I might guess because I don't think we have a teaspoon. Let's go ahead and guess. That's fine. So I'm going to just fill this up probably a third of the way. No, we're going to find a teaspoon. I like it. We've got our teaspoon coming to the rescue. I'm just going to estimate, and it's okay when you're blending something like this, it's okay to estimate a little bit. There's my teaspoon. Where you don't want to estimate is when you are blending for, you want to be really, 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 really careful when you're blending for specific things, like if you're blending for pain, inflammation, that kind of thing. If you are making a green cleaning product or this mask that you're going to put on and take off, it's okay to guess like that. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. All right, we're going to put in our 1 drop of lavender. This is our cashmere lavender. It's beautiful. It is from India. 1 drop. You could do 1 drop of German chamomile as well. It has a little air bubble. We're going to pop that little air bubble. There we go. 1 drop is all we need. It's going to be so beautiful and effective. So I'm going to then go and I'm going to grab my spoon here. I'm just going to mix this up. Mix this up. It makes a nice little paste, which is exactly what you want. Now, if you like a thicker paste or a thinner paste, you would just, go ahead and make that adjustment with your wet versus dry ingredients. But this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. All we need now is a model to put this mask on. It's great. So what you would do is you would put the mask on, and then you would leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes. You would rinse and moisturize. Now, I was having a fun chuckle with some of our Natural Living Club members in that the first time you do a green clay mask, it is so rejuvenating and clarifying that it tightens as it dries. And that can be a really unnerving feeling the very first time you do it. It's just like any facial mask that tightens. It can be a little bit of a, what's going on? Everything's getting tighter, but that's exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to draw out the impurities of your skin. It's supposed to draw those out. It's supposed to clarify. It's supposed to smooth. It's supposed to rejuvenate. So that's doing that feeling of tightening is what you're supposed to be feeling. But I just wanted to give any first time green mask clay creators just a little heads up. So you'd leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you would rinse it off. And you would moisturize. You could tone with the toner of the 3 Hydrosol blend that's up in this PDF a little bit further up, or you could do lavender, and then you would just want to do a really nice moisturizing blend, either lotion blend or argan-based blend, oil-based blend right on your skin. It's going to be gorgeous. So that's our clay mask. I'm going to put a cover on that, and I'm going to do this mask later when I'm at home. I'm excited about that. So I'm going to put this over to the side. And then I have everything to make our salt scrub, which I love making salt scrubs. So I'm going to get my larger bowl out here. First of all, I'm going to check in on your comments over here, see how we're doing. Now, we do have a giveaway that I want to put into the chat right now as we make this particular blend. It'll be our last blend of the day. And I would like to ask you to pop in something that stood out to you so far, whether it's in your coursework, whether it's in one of our live events, whether it's in a community discussion thread for our Natural Living Makeover. If you could put in something that stood out to you, either from our time here today or from our community or coursework, just put in something that stood out today, an aha moment for you from the last couple weeks into chat. That is how you enter our giveaway today. And we're going to be choosing 3 random people to win a $25 gift card to aromatics.com, which you can go and use and purchase more supplies. All right, there you go. So let's go ahead and get that giveaway, those responses coming in. As always, if you could subscribe to our channel so you never miss a live event or a reel or a YouTube video we put up, subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. We would very much appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead and go back over to our PDF recipe. We're going to go up to or maybe it's down to at the very last recipe, our citrus forest polish. This is an invigorating shower scrub that exfoliates and refreshes. So for this, we need our nifty kitchen scale. We're going to turn that on because we're going to weigh things out. Now, when you are used to making scrubs, you can estimate as well. But we also want to start off being pretty precise until you get kind of onto your flow of what you like, how much salt, exfoliation, sugar ratio to oil, all of that you'll get onto in terms of your own personal preference. I like mine a little bit oilier, so I might add a little bit more oil than we have on this recipe. Okay, so I'm going to put this bowl on. I'm going to tare it. I'm going to start to weigh out my ingredients. Now, there is 2 different types of pink Himalayan salt we have in this particular recipe. We sell both at aromatics.com. The pink smalt, it says small grain, which is a little larger than the fine grain. And it took me about a year to catch on to that. So our pink Himalayan salt, we're going to start with our fine grain. You can cook with this. It's a gorgeous salt to use in the kitchen and on any of your food recipes. We're going to go ahead and put in 4 ounces of our fine pink Himalayan salt. Here we go. I've got that on grams, so I want it on ounces. There we go. I want 4 ounces of this. Go ahead and dump that in. 4 ounces. We're at 2. 3, we're almost to 4. And again, once you make this a few times, you can see how it's easy just to estimate. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to be really precise as you're starting out. All right, now I'm going to go with another, I'm going to tare this. I'm going to go with another 4 ounces of my coarse pink Himalayan salt. Now, if you have sensitive skin or you're worried about too much exfoliation, you could put in all 8 ounces of the fine pink Himalayan salt, or you could do 4 ounces of the fine pink and 4 ounces of sugar if you wanted to do that and just have a really more gentle experience with this. But for now, I want a really exfoliating experience. So I'm going to put in 4 ounces of this coarse pink small grain. Because it's winter, theoretically, in Montana still. We're not yet at spring, and I really want a deep exfoliation for the shower. And I love all the trace minerals that come through with this pink salt. Okay, that's just over 4 ounces. That's fine. All right, we're going to do 1/4 cup of our jojoba oil. 1/4 cup of our jojoba oil. Right over here. Use that glass, this little beaker. To 60. Thank you, Karen. So we're going to put 60 of this particular measurement of this cute little beaker into our blend. Both Karen and I like a little bit more oil in our blends anyway. All right. So that's going to be 1/4 cup, which is exactly what you're looking for. I could have also tared that down to 60 mils. I see, this is exactly what that is. It's just 60 mils right there. Okay, let's go ahead and put that on there. Now, the fun part. So we're going to do a total of 14 drops in this particular blend. We are using sweet orange, distilled lime, and black spruce. So let's grab our sweet orange. We're going to put in 6 drops of sweet orange. I love it. It is so invigorating and beautiful. There we go. We are going to put in our 4 drops of distilled lime, which is not phototoxic. Cold pressed lime is, but steamed distilled lime is not phototoxic. All right, we're going to go ahead and do our 4 drops. I love this blend so much. 4 drops of our distilled lime, 4 drops of black spruce just to give us more of that respiratory opening effect. It's also so grounding and uplifting. I love black spruce. Okay, 4 drops of black spruce. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take this spoon. We're going to take it off the scale. We're going to mix it all together. And this, you would just take a little bit in your hand in the shower, and you would just scrub it all over your body, and it makes your skin so smooth. It takes away any of those dead skin cells and just leaves your skin feeling so nice and smooth. And it's just absolutely lovely. And I'm going to really mix this in because I want the essential oil drops to evenly distribute throughout the entire scrub. Just like that. And then you just put it in your shower. Karen has a blue container of salt scrub in her shower that just always lives there. She just makes up new batches all the time in a little ceramic container. If you have kids or littles, you're going to want to put yours in a plastic container because you don't want to put glass in your shower and have them break anything in the shower. That's not what we want. One quick note to other people you share the shower with and to yourself, because it has a jojoba in it, you just want to wipe down the shower after you're done with your shower because it can get a little bit slippery. I never do that, and I always risk it, and I just am slipping around in there. I am always a little lazy to do that, and it's always a little bit more of an adventure than it should be. So don't do what I do. Take that extra step and take a towel and just wipe your shower down. And then you won't have to get in the shower and do your cartoon run like I always do because I never take the time to do that. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but definitely take that extra step and wipe down the shower, especially if you're sharing your shower with others. It's just polite, isn't it? Okay, there we go. So now I could, if I wanted to, I could put that shower scrub into a container like this and keep it in my shower. I'm just going to cover that gently and take it into my shower as it is, and use it up within the next few days. So that's your shower scrub. All right, let's go ahead. I want to hop over here. I hope you enjoyed watching both of those recipes. If you're new to blending, we like to blend because we want to show you how quick and easy it is. It literally takes, if I wasn't doing all of that talking, it would take 30 seconds, maybe a minute to put this blend together. Quick, 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 especially if you're with a recipe like this, you can kind of estimate, 1 part of our fine grain, 1 part of our small grain, a little bit of our oil, essential oils, mix it all up and you're good to go. And this particular shower scrub, if you were to buy this in the store, this is a high-end shower scrub. You would pay a lot of money for, and you can make it for a fraction of the cost with even higher level of ingredients, getting a better result from the shower scrub. So I love doing that. Oh, good. I like that you like my honest commentary. That is fantastic. I know, it's just better to wipe down the shower, and I know that you should, but I always like to hop in there and, oh, okay, Kim, this is why we do this. Kim broke 4 ribs and her foot 2 years ago from a slippery shower. I completely don't want anyone to break anything, and I want you to definitely wipe down the shower before you or after you use this. It just is a little bit, it is just a little bit more slippery. So please, and I'm sorry you had that experience, Kim. I hope your foot is feeling better now and all of the rest of those bones are feeling better. That's a terrible thing to have happen. All right. So how you are entering your giveaway right now, you're putting in one just takeaway from either our event right now or something that's happened in our Natural Living Makeover community over the last couple of weeks. We have 4 more weeks to go. On Friday, I will open up a post for your takeaways from our skincare week that I'd love for you to contribute. It's just so fascinating to see what people resonate with. We get to learn from each other in that discussion. That will pop up on Wednesday. On Sunday, your 3rd course for this experience will open Sunday morning on Everyday Wellness. It's going to be lovely. I can't wait for you to go through that course. Next Q&A will happen this coming Monday, which is the 16th. And then we'll have our live event where we go over our quiz questions again. We're going to do our 7-day leaderboard prize giveaways. So if you just joined the Natural Living Makeover experience now and you get in there, you're still able to get one of those giveaways. So that is fantastic. And again, all of this information will be moved over and will live inside of our Natural Living Club after this pop-up group closes. So you will have access to it if you are a member of our Natural Living Club. All right. Oh, okay, Melissa, I must have a mat in my shower now because I've slipped a few times. I know. I've had family members that I've lived with who I have not told about the shower scrub, who've hopped in and done a big yell and slipped around. I haven't had anyone break anything, but it's definitely very important. Maybe we could come up with a system where if you've used the shower scrub, you put like some kind of magnet or some kind of system. Maybe you just, whatever your household needs, some kind of system to communicate. I know, Sylvia, I love this community too. So it's just so much fun. I can't think of another more nurturing, supportive community. I mean, just to go in and to lift up our community members who are going through some really heavy things right now, and to have almost 150 people in there, either praying or meditating for, or however you lift up in your own spiritual practice, your own faith journey. We have so many people who are just lifting others up, and it just fills my heart with so much love and happiness. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead. Do we have our winners? Okay, we've got our 3 winners for our live giveaway.
Number 1, Roxanne Apple.
Roxanne Apple. That's so fun. Roxanne and I were just talking in DMs about how to price your products, which is awesome. So Roxanne Apple, you are one of our winners. Denise Weldon. And Barbara Swint. So if the 3 of you could email team@aromatics.com, Michelle will pop your $25 gift cards into your account. I'm very happy for you to stock up on supplies. We, again, are just having so much fun with everyone over there in both of our school communities right now. We actually have several. We have several, but those are the 2 that I want to talk about today. All right. So if you could go ahead and, I have a big giveaway. I want to start off. We did a big giveaway last week, and I announced it at the end of our live event or beginning. We did 2 full supply kit giveaways. We're doing another big giveaway. We're going to give away 2 body butter and lip balms courses. I'm going to take you over to aromahead.com. That's where that's our online school. We've been going since the 90s. We are the largest online aromatherapy school in the world that you can find anywhere. So I'm going to take you to browse courses. Here I am, aromahead.com. And if it doesn't pop up in the first page, which it did not, those are all the courses available. I'm going to search body butters and lip balms. So we're going to give away 2 of these courses. It pairs so nicely with the content we're going over in our skincare week. It's a $279 course. That's how much tuition is. It is 14 hours, 4 lessons of how to make all natural custom body care products for yourself and your loved ones. So we go into more in depth. If you're liking this skincare week, we go even more in depth into how to make body butters and lip balms, which is very exciting. So I'm going to put up a post over in our Natural Living Makeover group. Look for member requests. I'm going to approve those right after this. So I'll pop a post and I'll give you all of the details on how to enter that giveaway, how long it will run for, and then we'll choose 2 winners at the end of the giveaway who will receive the body butters and lip balms course. 2 people will. It's a fantastic course. Many of you who are here live already have that course and have gone through it. It's just such a great course. So I'm very happy about that. So come on over into our Natural Living Makeover school community, and you can join that giveaway, and I'll post that in the next couple hours, how to join in and potentially win one of those 2 free classes. All right, everyone, this has been absolutely lovely. Thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. We know not everyone can make it during the day or evening, or maybe it's the middle of the night. Many of our Australians, it's 2 a.m. So I do not blame you for sleeping right now. So those of you who are here live, thank you. Those of you who are watching the replay, thank you. And we will see you inside of the community, inside of our Natural Living Makeover. So be well, and I will see you soon.